Welcome to Here's My Thing, everybody. My name is Frankie Salazar, and today we're going to be talking about frat boy, stereotypical straight man, personalities, or I guess lack thereof. I don't really know what the title for this video is going to be, and I just have some bullet points here of stuff that I wanted to talk about just to get off of my chest in a super funny comedic way. And before we get into this video, of course, everybody knows that I am satirical. Now, of course, the show is called Here's My Thing, so when I give my opinion on something, I'm being serious about what I'm saying, but try to be a little bit lighthearted. I take shots at any and everybody on this show, and today on the chopping block is going to be none other than Frat Boys, or anything akin to that. And what I mean by that is my inspiration for today's video was Halloween, because Halloween is hands down my favorite holiday, even maybe surpassing Christmas, just maybe. I don't know, maybe not quite. But Halloween is my favorite for a couple of reasons. One, I throw an annual Halloween party, and I was so happy to see that last year it was a complete disaster. We had 25 people randomly come in a house that was too big, for how little people came, and it didn't look good. I ended up vomiting all over the place. I went as Joker. I'll go ahead and put a picture up now, and this is what I looked like by the end of the night. So then this time around, I'm like, okay, I want to do this right. I had it at a different house. It was a little smaller, but then we ended up quadrupling the amount of people that came, and we had almost 80 people show up to this party. And every year I like to outdo myself on my costume. So like I said a minute ago, we had Joker last year, the original Jack Nicholson, and then this year we did a Day of the Dead Sugar Skull mariachi, because I'm Hispanic, believe it or not. I know, I look white. But anyhow, my point of this is I always try to go ahead and just get it out there. I try to do my best. Face paint is a really big thing for me for Halloween. Any costume that I have, I will have my face beat. I don't care how many hours it takes. And I just try to do my best to make myself look good. But then I take a look on TikTok and I'm scrolling and I see all the girls in their sexy little cat and devil costumes and yada yada. But then I see somebody dressed up as Woody, right? I see a gentleman, a nice, beautiful, objectively handsome, attractive guy that is dressed up as Woody from, say Toy Story, or a fireman, or a policeman, or a pilot, or maybe Jigsaw, or Michael Myers, or whatever it is. And all of those things that I named, a lot of them wear full-on suits and uniforms. Okay, it's a full body coverage thing. But because these frat boys make their bodies their entire personality, we now have a full display of their chest and abdominal muscles, because they're going to unzip their fireman jacket. They're going to rip off Jigsaw's suit. They're just going to put on a Michael Myers I don't even know what the word is. What is it, mask? And that's it. That's the extent of their costume. They're just going to go as a shirtless, whatever the hell, insert costume here, because I get it, but it's your body is not the costume. Okay, no shade. No matter how attractive you are or think that you are, that's not your costume, and it leaves no sort of any sort of flavor or personality, because their body is the extent of their personality. I mean, I've talked to some of these frat dudes, and they are literally dumber than a bag of rocks. And in a way, am I mad at it? No. Because if I had their bodies and dumb as a bag of rocks mindset, would I do the same thing? Of course I would. I'm a hypocrite. But we all know that I look like the sack of potatoes that their mind is like. But if I was built like them, I would probably do the same thing. But all that to say that, in my opinion, when it comes to attractive people, it's very objectively attractive people, boys and girls, whatever, is it really a bad thing to say that they have no personality? That's their personality. And what I mean by that is, nobody has more of a personality than somebody who went from being objectively unattractive and, say overweight or whatever, to locking in at the gym and getting their health right and whatever, who now has abs. Because the funny thing about it is big people, fat people, and I can attest to this, I literally am one currently, even though I'm down over 120 pounds. We all know that I fat shame myself on this show. But my point is that big people sometimes are objectively the funniest people you will ever meet. And that's because when it comes to straight guys, women are attracted to somebody that can make them laugh. So a lot of the times, it's almost like a mating call. Like, you know how birds will like puff out their chest or like do a little dance with their titties or something to try to get a girlfriend? Fat guys will do the dance with their titties, but that just happens when we walk. But then when that doesn't work to get the girl, now we have to make them laugh. So thus, because we're not physically attractive enough, we now have to have what's called a personality, right? To go ahead and try to get the girl. This extends obviously outside of straight guys. This could go for gay guys. This could go for whatever. Some of the funniest people on planet Earth, you know, like take Tim Dillon, who is objectively a bigger guy, but he is like hands down the funniest person I have ever seen in any video I have ever seen of him in. And that's probably because if Tim Dillon was an objectively attractive, mentally healthy man, he wouldn't have to be as funny as he is. Okay? There's literally something called pretty privilege, sexy privilege, skinny privilege, whatever you want to call it. And it's like, those are the people with the best personality because they have to have it. And the thing about it is I'm not even like shitting on these frat boys and these really skinny pretty girls, because in a way it's almost my way of, you know, projecting my insecurities onto them. So if you are one of the objectively pretty girls who are super thin, or not even super thin, but just like body T, coochie good, and then you have these frat boys with like the rock hard washboard abs and the big chest, just know that I'm projecting my insecurities onto you guys, and I wanted to make this video as a way to hopefully make you chuckle, because it's just, I just do find it funny that a lot of them, I mean, am I lying when I say that they don't have personality? Now, let's just say that we have somebody that is like one of these like super hot, attractive firemen physically, that, their body's the costume or whatever, and they're funny, but like we're never fat before. Like, let's just say like that's just who they are. Like, they're just these attractive, hot people who happen to be funny. Man, you won. It's over. Just take my girl, bro. Just take her, because there's no point. I lost. Because as the fat person who needed to have a personality to get the girl to do my little mating call, now it's over. Now you could have her, because now you're objectively more handsome than me and are going to take her with your personality. But I think the fact still remains that the best people on planet Earth are the ones who have these deep, bad insecurities like mental health, physical health, emotional health, who triumph out of that. So if you're one of those people, that felt like you were ugly, and for the record, I don't think anybody on planet Earth is ugly, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like you feel down on yourself, you feel ugly, you feel fat, you feel mentally ill, and you bring yourself out of that, and you now have abs now, brother. I have no problem with you being a shirtless jigsaw and a Speedo on. And that's going to be your Halloween costume. Because I'm going to be looking, I am better than no man or woman or whatever. But it's like the fact still remains that I think that those are some of my favorite people like on planet Earth, are like the disaffected people that end up becoming everything that they want to be and everything that they envy out of the people that are already like that. But anyhow, here's my thing. This was just a complete waste of a video. Nobody's going to watch this, and I'm just like rambling because it's late. I'm tired. I've been stressed these past couple of days. But I did just want to get it off my chest because it's super funny. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at seeing all of these attractive guys and gals on my TikTok, of course, especially not being one of the objectively attractive ones myself. I kind of have to live vicariously through them. But I just do find it funny because like I have a beef with it, because Halloween to me is like, there's a sanctity in Halloween, like you have to put in the work. Like, take a look at my mariachi costume. This took me 2 hours and almost $150. If I was sexy enough and I could go put on a Michael Myers mask with no shirt on, I would. Okay, maybe I would like sprinkle some like fake blood onto my abs so like my bitch could lick it off later. Like I get it. But like, why? Have a little bit of personality. Have some class. All that to say, do whatever you want. You know, we have a lot of fun on this show. I just like to poke fun at people, and it's really not that deep at the end of the day. But we love everybody around here. Yeah, this was a total waste of my time and yours. But if you made it this far, this has been Here's My Thing, starring Frankie Salazar. I hope you like this one. I try to deliver things in a comedic way, and sometimes it's just faulty because, you know, I'm just like putting on a show and just like embarrassing myself, and it's only going to get like 22 views anyway, so I don't even know why I bother. But as always, I would love to know or what your thing is down in the comments below. And remember to subscribe to become a baby Frank, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.